How to open a business checking account. A business checking account is an account that you open up at a bank in your business's name. Doing this can unlock funding in your business's name and help you in ways that you could not even imagine. I'm going to share with you a shocking secret of why you want to open a business checking account and give you an easy step-by-step on how to get that done. All right, let's go.
Noelle. Yeah, she can fix that. You gotta get it done, or you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
Okay, so let's get right into it. You want to open a business checking account, and you can get this done really quickly, really simply, and you can actually have so many benefits to yourself. I'm going to share with you in this video, step by step, how to get that done. I'm going to share with you ways to actually walk out of the bank with money instead of giving them money. And I'm going to share with you a secret thing that you can do that no one is talking about. So let's get right into it. Step one, you can open a business checking account simply by going to a bank and opening a business checking account. However, you will actually need to have a business first. Most of you guys know you need a business registered with the Secretary of State. You need an LLC or an S Corp or a C Corp. Again, you just go to your Secretary of State's website, you register your business's name. You may have to wait a couple of days. Most of them allow you to do this all online. In Florida, for example, you just go to SunBiz, and Virginia, you can do it online. I have opened up businesses in Virginia, Connecticut, Florida, Georgia, so many different states. And I've helped my students open up business checking accounts in every state. And everyone has pretty much the same requirements. This is not something that is difficult. You will need the business registered with the Secretary of State, and you will need an EIN letter. This is absolutely free. You just go to irs.gov, you click apply for EIN. You can do this all online, but you do actually have to have the LLC or the S Corp or C Corp registration. Again, you have to have the business registered with your state's Secretary of State, and it has to be in the state that you are going to be opening up the business checking account in. So very simple to do, very easy to do. And this is the way to open up all of this funding. Yes, you can actually get a business that's registered in Delaware, for example, or Wyoming and different things like that. But then you would have to be in your state. So let's say, for example, I am in Florida, but I registered my business in Delaware or Nevada because they don't have the corporate taxes. Now, that's going to be a little bit different because then once you get that registration in that different state, you're going to have to register that business in your state as a foreign entity before you walk into the bank to get the business checking account. So what I am saying very simply is in most cases, you are going to be, I'm talking about a business that is registered in this state and you are getting the business checking account opened up in this state. I'm going to share with you how to do it with those different states if you want to. But again, let's keep this simple because the simpler you do this, the simpler and faster it is for you to get this funding. Okay, so like I said, your business registration, if you need any help with this at all, there is a link in the description box to 𝗏𝗏 Consultant. They can actually help you set your business up, or if you actually already have the business set up, they can help you get business credit and business funding. There's a link in the description box. They give you a free consultation where you can talk with them absolutely free, see what they can do for you, give you a nice little plan. It's a very, very valuable call. They have helped so many of my students get over $50,000 in funding, sometimes with just one phone call. So use the link in the description box, call 𝗏𝗏 Consultant, take advantage of that free consultation that they have for you and get that business funding. All right, let me get back to all of these steps so you can get this business checking account open quickly. Okay, so another couple quick things that you will need for your business that you don't need to open the business checking account but are really nice to have is a quick business website, have a business email, and have a business phone number. Now, again, not required, but it actually does work out really well when you do have those things. And as a bonus, having a logo with your business's name and being able to walk into the bank with the logo on the shirt, kind of like I have on right now, is an amazing way to show up to the bank. And I can tell you some ways that this will help you out. All right, let's keep going with how to open the business checking account. Like I said, step one, actually have the business registered with the Secretary of State and have the EIN. Those are pretty much the only two things that you need before you walk into the bank to do step two. Let me tell you that. Step two, go to the bank. Yes, you can actually open up certain types of accounts all online, but those are not actual banks. If you are opening up a checking account using an online platform, I will talk about that in just a second, but I am talking about walking into a bank: Chase, Wells Fargo, Truist Bank, PNC Bank, Regions Bank, Citibank, US Bank, like walking into a physical location and opening up your business checking account. This is required, okay? If you are actually getting a real business checking account with a bank, you actually have to show up in person to do this, okay? Most people do not know this, but this is the thing. This is the key, because that way now you've shown up as a person. The bank representative, you'll sit down with them, you hand them the registration that you have from the Secretary of State, and you hand them the EIN letter, and pretty much you hand them your ID, showing that you own the business, that you are registered on the business as one of the members or one of the owners of the business. They actually check to make sure that you're a real person. They actually check your credit. And what they are actually doing is two things. Again, I used to be a VP at Chase Bank, and actually also worked at Wells Fargo in a high level management position as well, and Bank of America as well. So I can tell you unequivocally, they have these requirements called AML, which stands for anti-money laundering. Okay, make sure you're not laundering money. And then the real important one is KYC, know your customer. So all banks, when they open up an account with you, they have to verify that you're an actual person, and they want to get to know some things about you. That's why they want you to come into the bank. But this is why I'm saying you can use this to your advantage to show up looking professional with a logo on your shirt of your business to give it even more credibility, because this person is actually hired by the bank to make sure that you are real and that you are an upstanding person, essentially. So they check your credit, and they do a couple of background checks through like maybe LexisNexis, just to make sure you don't, you're not on the run, or you're actually a citizen of the United States. That's another thing that's important. Or even that you're here legally. Again, you don't actually have to be a citizen, but you do have to be in the United States legally. Okay, like I said, KYC, know your customer. They are trying to figure out that you're a real person, you're an upstanding person, and then once you kind of have that green light, now we can open up the doors to some other things. All right, so let me keep going, because again, you're walking in there in person with your actual registration of your business and the actual printed out EIN letter. Again, when you do this on the IRS's website or by yourself, again, you don't need to pay anyone to get an EIN. Okay, that's absolutely free. They actually give you the PDF that you save and you can print out and you can bring with you to the bank, or email it directly to the banking representative that you're talking to when you are at the bank. Okay, step 3, let me tell you. Step 3. Okay, and I probably should have said this before, but kind of deciding which bank you want to go to. As I said, there are thousands of banks. Now, big banks are going to be your big 4 in the United States, are going to be Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citibank, and Chase. Those are the big 4 banks. They're the juggernauts, too big to fail. They have the majority of like almost all of the accounts. If you have great credit, I suggest Chase Bank for an example to go to. And I'll even put a link in the description box to the Chase Business Inc. credit card, because you can use that to get the Chase Business Inc. credit card. Bank of America, amazing. If you have good credit, that is another bank that you might want to open up a business checking account with. Wells Fargo is absolutely amazing as well. And so is Citi, but I don't deal with them as much. So if I'm ranking them, I would say Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and then Citi. Those would be, again, Noelle Randall's opinion of the big 4. Now, any of those banks are fine. You can walk in, open up the business checking account. They usually have a monthly fee for your business checking account. Maybe it's $10 a month. Maybe it's $30 a month. Obviously, Chase, Bank of America, they have the higher business checking account fees. And again, these are fees that they charge every single month. Then you have the mid-tier bank. These are the banks that I absolutely love. They're not the big 4, but they are big enough. They're in multiple states. Regions Bank, Truist Bank, PNC, US Bank, Bank of the Ozarks, mid-size banks. Again, banks that are in several states, but they are not as big as Wells Fargo, Bank of America, and Chase. They are not just like every corner you see, there is one of those banks. However, those mid-size banks are usually going to be the best for maybe a minority business owner, because they have a lot of unadvertised programs. And a lot of times they are just, they don't have just people walking in every single minute like the Bank of America and Wells Fargo's to open up accounts. So they actually usually have some more favorable banking terms for you. Their monthly fees usually are not as high. They usually can get to you a lot quicker. You're not waiting a week for an appointment, you know what I mean, to open up this account. We're waiting in the lobby for hours and hours for the next representative to be available to help you. Those mid-sized banks usually have great customer service. And like I said, they are there to help. And in many cases, I have learned they have a lot, and I mean a lot, of unadvertised lending programs for you. Okay, let's keep going. So you could decide to go into a bank, or you could decide what is called a fintech. So the banks, yes, you want to go into a bank. You have probably heard about fintech companies such as North One or Found, where you can open up a business checking account and the entire thing is online. Those are not banks. Yes, you can get a checking account, but that is not necessarily a bank account because they are not a bank. I do actually recommend, if you have bad credit and maybe you're getting started, or maybe you're in a position where you cannot go to a bank and you need to just get that business checking account going, because again, having business checking account with business checking account statements opens up funding for your business, and grants for your business and different things like that. They want to make sure that you actually are a business and you have a place to receive the money in the business's name, especially like a grant, like I'm going to give you $10,000 for your business. Well, guess what? You're going to need a business checking account. I'm not going to give it to you, Noelle, in your name. I have to put it in your business's name. So fintech companies are not as highly recommended by me, is what I'm saying. If you can walk into the bank, the mid-sized bank, that's going to be probably most ideal. Again, this is Noelle Randall's opinion, but you are free to do what you want. Again, big bank, mid-sized bank, small bank. You can go to one of those banks inside of Walmart that lets you have really bad credit and they'll give you a business checking account. Totally okay. You do what you can do, because getting the business checking account and being responsible with it is going to open up a lot for you years later. Okay, so even if you have bad credit now, you can fix your credit and take yourself to the next level, but you go wherever you need to go. If you have great credit, go into a big bank and do this, because you're going to walk out with money. You literally could just walk out with a business checking credit card and a business checking account. If you have decent credit, go to the mid-sized bank. If you have terrible credit, go to the credit union, go to the banks inside of the Walmarts. Totally okay. Or if you can't leave your house and you have some disability or different things like that, fine, open the fintech account, open a business checking account with a North One or a Found. And again, I have links to this in the description box if you need to decide which bank or which fintech company is best for you. But let me keep going, because like I said, there is a big secret out here that no one really talks about. The next thing you want to do is, when you open up your business checking account, they will check your credit. They have to. This is a part, again, of the KYC. They have to check your credit, more so to make check that that's just really your social security number. You don't owe other banks money. You are not, just all bad credit with all evictions and foreclosures and bankruptcies and collections and charge-offs. They want to make sure at least you do pay someone before you get a bank account. If you have terrible credit, and some banks will not give you a business checking account or any account. So they definitely will check your credit before giving you any type of checking account, whether it is personal or business, because it is a part of the KYC. It is a part of the Know Your Customer protocol that is required by U.S. banks. So once you get the account open, they've given you, the go ahead, the green light. Since they've already checked your credit, especially at some of the bigger banks, they will ask you, do you have any other things that you're interested in? You can say, hey, I would be interested in a business credit card if you have any. I would be interested in the business line of credit. I would be interested in the business loan. Because again, now you have the business. They have all of your documents right there. You literally could get funding right when you are opening up your business checking account. I've literally walked inside of Bank of America, opened up a business checking account, and walked out of the bank with $50,000. Yes. Okay. So this is what is possible and what people don't know. But you have to, again, open up the checking account. You actually have to go in person, wearing the logo on your shirt. Again, that business bank representative at that bank, they are looking to see who they, and that's their job. Like, is this a customer that's going to be good? And when you show up with all of your credentials, you have your paperwork there, you have your logo on your shirt, and you open up the business account. Let me give you this big secret: with at least $5,000. If you open up that business checking account and you put in $5,000 as the deposit, baby, that is how you get approved for all of these fundings. They want to see at least a $5,000 deposit into that account. Now, many of you don't have $5,000 to put into the account. I totally get it. Well, you could also borrow the money and put it into the account. That's one. Or again, this is something you can do from bank to bank to bank. So literally I can go to one bank account, they give me $50,000 and I walk into another bank and then that's the deposit for my next business checking account. So it can be money that you got from somewhere else or from another bank that you're doing this. But if you can put a large amount of money into the business checking account when you open it, baby, that is the key to opening up the funding on the spot. Now, most business checking accounts will let you open up the account with as little as $50, $100. Every bank does have their own minimum, but usually it is $50, $100. Sometimes it's $500, again, for the minimum business checking account. Like they usually have different business checking accounts that they offer to you. Some of them have no monthly fee and you can't really do that many deposits. Some of them allow you to do 100, 500 transactions a month and get free, free money orders and different things like that. But you have to maintain a minimum balance of $10,000 or $25,000 and different things like that. So it really depends on how much money you are putting into the account and you're going to maintain that account with. That will decide what type of business checking account you can get because they will give you options. I suggest, again, taking $5,000, opening up a business checking account with a major bank, and then walking out with that money, or a mid-sized bank as well. And again, $5,000 seems to be that number, that minimum number that they really like. So if you could do more, 10,000, 15,000, again, you're also going to order checks. Because this is a business checking account, that gives you check writing privileges, meaning I can write a check, I get a debit card, I can easily get the money out of this account and pay people with it. So you want to order checks when you open up your business checking account so that you can start writing checks and paying people directly from your business checking account. And of course, you want to get that business debit card as well, because again, you can pay people directly from the business. What will this do? Let me tell you. This will easily help you do your taxes and give you lots of tax deductions in many cases, because you now can easily separate your business expenses from your personal expenses. Because again, now you have a business account. You probably have a business credit card now too when you walked out of that bank. So now you actually can pay bills with your business checking account or your business credit card or your business debit card, and you never have to use your business to pay for personal expenses. And you can really separate out those expenses, which does make it easier to do your taxes, get more deductions. It's easier for your bookkeeper, your accountant to see what you're spending on business. Even the fees that you pay for your business checking account are usually deductions. So many tax deductions that will actually be opened up. Additionally, helping separate those expenses very easily once you have the business checking account. Let me keep going. You've now also unlocked the door to funding in your business's name, secret doors of hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of funding. Because again, you can go to multiple banks and open up multiple business checking accounts. So that is basically the last step. Rinse and repeat. Once you have opened up this business checking account and walked into the bank, now you can walk into the next one. I literally have bank accounts at lots of different banks because that also gives me the opportunity to get lots of different business credit cards, different business lines of credit, different business loans. Because I have the checking account with them, they start offering me all of these other things. And then I have lots of different banks doing this. So I'm constantly just getting offers. Hey, you want 50,000, you want 100,000. Hey, transfer your balance from this card to this card. We have 0% interest. Oh, I'm just going to mail you some checks from your business credit card. You can use that to pay for things. And again, just opening up how much more money you have access to. So it's not just the money that's in the account that you have access to. They're literally, when you maintain that business checking account, they will start making offers to you of loans, credit cards, lines of credit, and different things like that in your business's name. Okay, so just to recap, this is simple. You will walk into the bank with the registration from the Secretary of State and the EIN. That is it. Those are like the only two things you need to walk into the bank. You will walk into a major bank, a mid-sized bank, or even a small bank, and you will get a business checking account. If you are disabled or have terrible credit and you need to get a fintech account, you will use one of the links in the description to North One or Found. Those are fintech companies that will let you get a business checking account. account. Now, I'm suggesting though you go to a big bank, but if you can't, start where you can, all right? Then the next thing, when you're at the bank, wear your logo if you can when you go into the bank. Again, you have to have your ID. They want to make sure they know who you are. They're going to also check your credit. So once they've kind of done that and they see that you're a stand-up person, ask for that business credit card, ask for that business line of credit, ask for that business loan, or what are the next steps to get it. And in many cases, you can walk out of that bank with that money in your hand. If you need help with any of this, use the link in the description box to 𝗏𝗏 Consultant. Not only can they help you get business credit and business funding, they can even help you set up the business should you need that. 𝗏𝗏 is someone that I have known for many, many years. He's a good friend of mine. He helped me with my personal credit, and now he is helping people with business credit. He is an absolute expert. His team is amazing, and they have been helping and helping and helping, and I want them to help you should you need that help. 𝗏𝗏 Consultants is an amazing company based out of Texas that can help so many business owners get the funding that they need. I suggest you call them. Again, use the link in the description box. Tell them Noelle Randall sent you. It's absolutely free. You got to find out what you and your business can do, because opening up that business checking account can literally open up the door to funding. And if you already have a business checking account, even better. Why? Because I want to make sure that you have all of the knowledge, all of the tools, and all of the resources to be successful. This is Noelle Randall. To your success.